Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Aim Sarasvataye Namaha. O Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints and sages of all times, of all places, Namaste. O ye powers that be, most beloved Ishtadevata, in all thy names and all thy forms, Namaste. Ancestors, ancestors of our bloodlines, ancestors of all of the lineages to whom we attune, Namaste. Bless us. Bless us again and again and again. Sweep clear our paths. Let our minds be clear. Let our hearts be clear. Let our insight be clear. May we see that we are a part of Indra's net. May each action that we take radiate wisdom, compassion, and nonviolence throughout all of Indra's net. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May our time together be blessed abundantly, again and again and again and again. Namaste Ji. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sunday Sangha. We are entering part 2 of our teaching on becoming intimate with the divine. Now remember, the teaching is only a little part. What you do, that determines whether or not you have an intimacy with the divine. Sit back, take a breath, rest. I'll tell you a story. I'll share a little teaching. We'll have a meditation, and we'll close with meditative prayer to send our blessings to all of life. Once upon a yogi time, they say. Do you remember Mohan? Mohan the barber, who has his shop at the very top of the quaset leading to the Ganga. Remember, he bought the shop 5 years ago. Young man he is, very wise, but young. Mohan. Every day, Mohan was the first person sweeping in front of his shop. The roads get a little dusty with all the pilgrims going to the Ganga for their blessings. Sweeping, cleaning, making sure everything was neat. And not just in front of his shop, but he would go to his neighbors' shops to make sure that if they weren't there early on, everything would be ready for when they came. Good fellow, Mohan. He was gifted in a quite unusual way. Mohan could look at you, anybody who came by, he could look at you and he could see your Ishta Devata. He could see who your Ishta was. He could feel and see your Ishta with you. Very few people have this special gift. He didn't make much of it, never bragged about it, never told anybody. In fact, I'm not sure that he really knew how special it was. Every morning, he'd get ready and he'd stand outside. Shave? Would you like a shave? And you know, if you're going on a pilgrimage, if you're going down to get this special blessing, you have to be clean shaven and your head should be perhaps also shaved. So, would you like a shave? A rupee for a shave? Sir, would you like a shave? He sees the man approaching him. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. He hears and he sees the big elephant ears around the man. Lord Ganesh is welcome here this morning. Would you like a shave, sir? Of course. And the man is thinking, how did he know? They go in and Mohan talks about Lord Ganesh and lets the man talk about his love for his Ishta Devata. Fellow leaves. Mohan sweeps up, goes outside. The next person comes down. Om Aim Sarasvataye Namaha. He hears the Veena. Om Aim Sarasvataye Namaha. And a tall man comes. And Mohan says, Sarasvati is welcome here. Would you like a shave? Well, of course. The man thinking, how does he know that I love Sarasvati? And into the shop they go. Not a fancy shop. Remember, this is the Ganga. It's the top of the Ganga. Good location, not a fancy shop. He shaves him and lets him talk about his love for his Ishta. Leaves. And all of a sudden, he hears, special day, Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Svaha. Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Svaha. And coming towards him is a very young woman with beautiful, beautiful, long, long hair, as many of the Indian women have, down past her waist. And he says, Namaste, Maji, giving her an honorific. She says, are you Mohan? Yes, I am Mohan. Are you Mohan the barber? Yes, I am Mohan the barber. Thinking, oh boy, I'd like a shave. I noticed you didn't offer me a shave. I'd like a shave. Your hair is so beautiful. Yeah. But like everybody else, I'm beginning my pilgrimage. Would you take my hair? Would you, Mohan, bless me and take my hair? Oh boy. I have a rupee. I have a rupee, Mohan. Oh, it was hard. It was very hard. His heart was in his throat. He didn't know what to do. But you can't say no when a pilgrim says, would you help me? Would you give me a shave? And he looked at her, and she was the most beautiful soul he'd ever seen. Just beautiful, just beautiful. He invites her into the shop, and with tears running down his face, tears just pouring down his face, hearing continually, Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Svaha, as if the walls were singing, as if the entire air was breathing her name. She looks at him and says, now, don't mess up, Mohan. You know, oh no, 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 no. And very carefully, he cuts her hair short, and she says, Mohan, a shave, a shave. And then with more tears running down his face, he shaves her head so she's bald, and she can begin her pilgrimage. With a benefic smile on her face, just joyful, she says, thank you, Mohan. Here's your rupee. She walks to the door and turns around. And as Mohan looks up, Lakshmi is standing in his door with all of her beautiful locks. She winks at him and says, thank you, Mohan. Thank you for your devotion. He drops to his knees. She just smiles. And all of a sudden, she's a little girl on a pilgrimage, a young sannyasi on her pilgrimage, walking down the street, and he can hear the singing. From that day forward, Mohan's blessings increased and increased and increased and increased. He could see from a distance all of the people, and he could feel their devotion to their form of the divine. He could feel their chanting. He could feel their prayers. He could hear their conversations. He accepted anyone who came in. Allah, Buddha, Christ, Rama, Krishna, Ganapati, Hanumanji, Lord Omji, whoever he accepted. He treated each one equally. But he always kept his ear to the ground when he heard Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Svaha, hoping that one more time, in all of her beauty and glory and grandeur, the Divine One would show herself to him. For he had a slight prejudice, a slight preference, if you will, towards her, because after all, she had come to him. And one day, many, many, many years later, many shaves later, many haircuts later, as Mohan was lying on his small pallet in his very, very simple house, right behind the store, his shop on the Ganga, as he was getting ready to take his last breath, barely opening his eyes, but seeing at his sun center, the light came from a great distance and settled upon Mohan, filled the room that he was in. And as he watched, she reached out her hand to him and said, "Now is the time, Mohan. I am always here with you. Always here with you. Shall we begin our new pilgrimage?" And reaching up, he took her hand and walked into the light divine that was his, that he had nourished and sustained his whole life. Now, my beloved, what does that mean to you? Last week we talked about all the names that you have been called in your life. Just as many names as you have been called, there are that many names and more of the divine ones. Names that people have called the divine. And just as much as you might have a preference, the divine has no preference. It is the humans that say, "You must call the divine by this name. No other name will do." And the divine says, no. No, you call me by the name that moves your heart, that moves you from the heart consciousness to the sun center, the center of balanced self-awareness. But what is needed? What is the necessity? To know yourself. What do you value? I said to you last week, spend time this week. What are the highest values that you hold? Write down 5, cross off 2, look at the 3, cross off 2. What is the most important thing that you value? Not what mama values, not what papa values, not what your therapist values, not what your doctor values, not what God, what guru. And I meant that when I said not what God or guru, but what you value. It's your life, after all. It's not my life. My life is mine. Your life is yours. We must know for ourselves. And this is the path of Kriya Yoga. For you, through your practice. Practice. Japa. Repetition. That you know through your own primary experience. This is the way of the path. This is the way of the mystical path for you and I to know, because we've had, through our meditation, through our tarka, deep reflection, through observation. Yes, I'm having the observer self up here. That blue light of self-awareness is up here saying, oh, I see, I understand. Maybe that wasn't the smartest thing I could have done. Or I wonder why. What can I do to make it better? So that you have these discernments, this discernment that you are experiencing yourself. Oh, my beloved, that's so important. for you, as you do these practices, you gain the skill of the greatest of the yoga asanas, the greatest, bar none. And that is the capacity to stand on your own 2 feet, knowing that you have had an awareness of what is right. What is the right direction? Not what the direction is you're drawn to emotionally, that you're pushed or pulled. Not what somebody says to you, but what you know from your experience. And so, why Mohan? Why Mohan today? What was the yoga city, the power that Mohan cultivated in his life that blessed him from the time he was a little boy until his last breath? What was that? It was his devotion, his willingness to see and accept what was sacred in the other. His recognition that he too, as you, as I, was a part of Indra's net, the net that all existence is a part of, that you and I are a jewel of. And thus anything that we do radiates through Indra's net. Anything you think, anything you say, anything you act upon radiates through Indra's net. As a beloved soul said to me the other day, I was very moved by it. I realized, my family used to be close through their criticisms of others. That's how they created closeness. And I've been trying all my life to reverse that pattern. Now that I see that I'm a part of Indra's net, she said, now it's easy. Now, no more. Now I'll tell you something. That soul, just as you and I, when we have that satori, that recognition, we change the karma of the past and you change the karma of the future. By knowing, no, this is not the right way to be critical of all others, but to be able to say, I bless you. I bless you. Boy, that's a tough piece of karma. I bless you. It's not an easy time upon the earth at this time. There are many, many, many things that are happening. Many things are being said. Many events that are occurring that are difficult for people to see. The difference in your life experience today versus what it was in the past. All these things happen in the past, and nothing that we are seeing today is new. But there is a difference here. And the difference is intensity times the duration equals the force. And because we have this capacity that we're sharing in today, the social media, the ability to see in long distances, to communicate with each other in long distances. I can see you, you can see me. It has created an environment in which there is a lessening of civility. Becoming civilized, becoming cultured in the yogic tradition is very important. It means to be aware of your actions, to be aware of your speaking, to be aware of your thinking, and the impact of that upon another person. To recognize, they too are living in a difficult time, in difficult circumstances. What can I do? I am not saying ignore it. I'm saying something that my guru said to me from the very first time that he met me, and I didn't like it. But I worked on it. And he'd say, don't be so emotional. Stop being so emotional. Stop being so emotional. Stop being so emotional. And then after close to, I don't know, it was over 40 years, he said, hey, look at that. You got the message. You got the message. Don't take 40 years to do it. But what we're talking about today is the power of one of the yogic practices, the great practice of gaining intimacy with the divine. All right? Now, intimacy with the divine means that you have to work on it. You must do something. You don't come on Sunday and say, hola, ¿cómo está? Bien, ¿y tú? No. You don't come and say, buenas tardes. Or for some of you, buenas noches. No. You, every day, from the time you wake up, all the way through your day, and into your dream states, you must cultivate an attunement to your Ishtadevata, your Ishtadevata, your connection to the divine, your chosen form of the divine. Unless you're like me or like Mohan and, you attune in time, you come to respect all of the divine forms. But no matter if you respect all of them, intimacy occurs one-on-one. One-on-one. You and this form of the divine, you and your Ishtadevata. And it begins introducing yourself. We're going to do that again today. But as you communicate with your Ishta, you must learn to listen and to hear your Ishta. Your Ishta does not speak Italian, doesn't speak French, doesn't speak Romanian, doesn't speak Polish, doesn't speak Ukrainian, doesn't speak Russian, certainly does not speak English. You wouldn't know which dialect to use. But your Ishta speaks in symbolism, speaks to you symbolically. Your Ishta is far more likely to communicate with you through insights, through sudden solutions to your problems, to answers that come, through music, through poetry, through speaking, somebody's speaking, and you say, that's the solution I was seeking. Or through a concentration, meditation, and all of a sudden the way clears, the fogginess clears, and you see and you hear. But you must turn to the Ishta. And in a sense, it is no different than when you first begin to develop a relationship with anyone. It begins with smiling. You smile, I'm going to ask you to try that today. Now, one of my disciples asked me a few months ago, I thought that the Ishta, I was going to go to the Ishta and the Ishta was supposed to smile at me. Well, that's one way to do it. But my beloved, think about what happens. Think about what happens when you go into a room and you wait for other people to smile at you versus you going into a room and saying, hi, oh, I'm glad to see you. Namaste, I'm glad to see you. Or you're in a room and somebody walks in and you turn your back. They can come and talk to me, I'm important. Versus, hi, welcome. You know, we used to have a roles at functions at the temple. We'd take turns, you know, greeting people, welcoming people. And so with your Ishtadevata, really always, 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 always with your Ishta and with your relationship with other people, welcome them, be warm. And so you turn to your Ishta and you say, you smile. We'll do that in a minute. And wait for your Ishta to smile back. Now, the practice today is to begin a different level of intimacy with your divine. Some of you have a relationship with your Ishta that you've had for a long, long time. And you may say, I don't need to tell my Ishta my name. I don't need to ask the name of my Ishta. I'm going to ask you to open yourself to a blessing today, because I think you may find a remarkable thing occurs. The more intimate that you are with any being, but particularly with the divine, the blessings will flow to you. The obstacles will be removed from your life, and you will be able to become a greater blessing unto all of life, because this is what life is about. To become a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. We become a part of the solution by becoming wiser, by becoming more compassionate, by becoming kinder, by becoming non-violent, by stopping gossiping, by stopping criticism. It does not mean, forgive me, it does not mean you have to approve of everything that everybody else is doing or approve of all the horror, but that rather you can do something, and that something is to send your blessings, to send loving kindness, that the karma will be softened for all upon the earth, that the karma will be softened. And so what I've said to you, accept like Mohan any form of the divine that appears to you, and any form of the divine that your others, that all the others in your life attune to. We're not talking about favoritism here. You're not required, nor should you, try to convince everybody else that your name and your form is the only form. That's an error in thinking. Do you hear me? It's an error in thinking. For you to have true intimacy with life, it is important that you cultivate this relationship with the divine. For you will find acceptance, love, wisdom, compassion. The divine does not want you to change yourself. The divine is not asking you to change yourself. Although you will find with your intimate relationship, you may wish to change yourself. And so the practice today is very simple, building upon what you learned this last week. When you talked about, you thought about, you reflected upon what the value is that you hold the dearest, the most sacred in your life. What is that value? Being honest with yourself. And being honest with yourself, if you haven't done the practice, do it this week. What do you value the most? And then compare that with how much time have you been spending in your life cultivating that. You know, I think I always go back to the example of the musicians, because I live with a musician, and you know, it's practice. It's practice. If you want to play the piano, if you want to play the harp, if you want to play the guitar or the clarinet or the flute, it's practice. Day after day after day. If you want an attunement to the divine, it is practice. Not 2 minutes, not 5 minutes, not 30 minutes, but continually throughout your day. Attunement, 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 attunement. And then the secret, a peek into our future teachings. Learning to become the mount of your Ishta so that you will carry your Ishta throughout your life, your everyday life. So now we are going to go into a meditation, attuning to our Ishta Devatas. If you have not yet met your Ishta, you will have a chance to become close to. If you have, you will have a chance to become more and more intimate with. Listen with your inner ear for what you hear, my beloved. Listen with your inner ear. Sitting with your spine erect, place your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together upon your thighs, the hands cupped upward. If you are able to sit erect, gently do so. Turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center, beginning to watch the breath. Use the sipping breath, inhaling as if through a straw, drawing the energy from the limbs to the trunk. Gently. Again, the sipping breath, gently drawing the energy from the trunk to the spinal column. And now from the base of the spine, using the sipping breath, draw the energy up to the sun center. Take that energy as a golden ball of light and project it out in front of you. Expand that golden light and sweep it around your body, moving counterclockwise to the left. 3 times encase your body in golden light. Now expand that golden light. And ascend. Ascend upward. Above the room you're in. Above the building you're in. Ascend to the high place. Reaching the grove of the meditators, the high place of meditation. Stand at the entrance. Feel the light and the protection and the beauty of this place. You are welcome here. You are safe here. The divine ones are present in this grove. Enter in and find your meditation place. Focusing your attention at the sun center, gaze upward. In your mind's eye in front of you, you see a mountain. Brilliant light shining from the top of the mountain, beckoning you, welcoming you. Step into the light. And ascend. No stress, no strain. Ascend. Om Namo 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 Namo. Ascend. Reaching the top of the mountain. You find your comfortable place of meditation. Gazing into the distance, you call upon your Ishta Devata, pleased to join you. Most beloved Ishta, bless me with your presence. Gazing through the third eye, you see a bindu of light coming from the distance. Hold your attention on the light. Open your heart. Open your sun center. Let the light come forth to you. It grows brighter and brighter and brighter as the light comes close to you. From the circle of light, touches down in front of you. You feel, you see, you hear the form of your Ishtadevata, the form of the divine that is most precious to you. Greet your Ishta. Smile at your Ishta. Smile upon your Ishta, gazing upward through your sun center. And offer your pranams, your deepest respect. As you gaze and smile upon your Ishta, feel your Ishta lifting up its countenance and smiling. And now, my beloved, speak to your Ishta silently, saying whatever is in your heart to say at this moment. Whatever needs you have, speak them and hear and feel that you are listened to, you are heard. Finish up your dialogue. Focus at your sun center. And now listen. Feel your Ishta responding to you. And now, my beloved, ask your Ishta to be with you, to bless you with its presence, with each breath that you breathe. ask that your attunement may be deeper and more intimate. Feel the light shine from your Ishta pouring upon you, blessing you, accepting you, supporting, strengthening. Most beloved and precious Ishta, open our ears that we might hear your voice. Open our minds that we might see the symbols as you speak to us. Open our hearts that we might grow in ever greater compassion and wisdom and share thy goodness with all of those who enter our aura. See your beloved Ishta reach out its hand to you. Take hold of the hand of your Ishta. Return together to the high place of meditation. Return upon the light with ease. As a Sangha, we are gathered in the grove of the meditators. You and your Ishta and you, I and my Ishta and I. O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we the needs of all of the beings upon Mother Gaia. We ask thee to join us as we send forth our meditative prayers and blessings. Join us that the prayers may go to where they are needed the most. Today we will use the Om Shanti mantra, chanting silently or loud as you choose. After each petition, feel the golden light pouring down, you and your Ishta, you and all the divine helpers. We cannot solve the problems. We can only ask for the highest good and send forth our blessings that in time, at the right time, for each soul, the karma will be softened. First, for Mother Gaia, we send forth our gratitude that we are here living in her bosom, living upon Mother Gaia. We send forth our blessings that the karma be softened for her, that all that she needs is given unto her. We will chant the Om Shanti mantra 3 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye powers that be, we ask for thy blessings. Join with us for all of the souls who are living with insecurity of the earth life. Water, food, shelter, economic, peace, all of the insecurities. Living in war with health problems. For all of the beings who are living with anger, with greed, with the emotionalities of the mind. We call upon thee to send forth thy blessings to all who are in need. As we chant and as you send forth your blessings, focus your attention at the sun center and allow your mind to see the blessings pouring forth. Allow your mind to see where they are most needed, for the divine will help. Our goal is only that the karma be softened for all beings, all beings, all beings, that the karma be softened for the highest good. Holding this awareness in your mind, we will be chanting 12 times. Don't worry about counting, just join in the chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 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 O ye powers that be, there are needs in all of the universe. There are needs we know not, we cannot see. There are needs within our own lives that sometimes we cannot see. We call upon thee at this moment to join with us again and again and again, send forth the light, that the karma be softened, that the highest good for all sentient life manifest. We know that we cannot see what the future will unfold. May our prayers and our blessings bring only the highest good. Refocusing the attention at your sun center, you and your Ishta and you, I and my Ishta and I. We send forth our blessings. Feel the golden dewdrops of Anandic bliss pouring and radiating forth from thee, that all beings be blessed, that the helpers of all beings be blessed, that those beings coming and going be blessed, that the goodness of life manifest abundantly. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihit 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 Thou art blessed. Thou hast blessed. Continue to draw your Ishta Devata into your life, speaking to your Ishta, praying to your Ishta, talking to your Ishta, listening to your Ishta. Find greater intimacy and joy and share that with all beings. Thou art a blessing, my beloved. Know that. Think and act accordingly. As you are ready, return to the earth plane. Namaste ji. Namaskar. I thank you for the blessings of your presence today. I thank you for your meditative energies. The recording for today, we will be blessed. Warren G always sends it out for us. I suggest that you listen to it. Return again and again and again and again to the blessings of your Ishta Devata. Know that you are good and you are, as Shelley would say, you don't think you're worthy of the blessings of life. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Maybe you're not in your eyes, but take it anyway, my beloved. For the divine is not judging you. You have my deepest respect and my deepest gratitude. Thank you for being here. Namaste, Ji. Namaskar.